shorter than the pledge, that would be a miracle.
It would be. Yeah. A double. Hey, you didn't have to agree with it.
Gary, we're gonna start putting time limits on,
Okay,
especially during track season, I'll tell you that.
What's he doing with a clicker pen down there?
Yeah,
what's
I
that?
said, what are you doing with a clicker pen?
I quit doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That cost me a lot of money. That was
Never had the
Tri-County equipment. That was.
I do it constantly.
Yeah, that should
So I make sure.
Chris, I was gonna pray for you, but then my prayer be long, so I'll do it shortly.
get some days,
Evans, I give up.
It's just live. It just.
especially after this weekend, my life will be a lot better.
Patriots.
My husband's in charge of putting on the ad clinic for track officials this weekend.
Oh.
You're looking at.
We're on the wrong- yeah, but-
90% of.
There we go. That's a good use of the card.
Yeah.
All set?
Yeah, he's the face.
Okay, it's 1:00. I'm gonna call the February 3rd Board of Commission meeting to order. Today, we're gonna have the prayer by Commissioner Heberly, followed by the pledge by Commissioner Sarkella.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together today. We thank you, Lord, for that we need to do business for our county. We just pray that you would guide and direct each one of us. Lord, we pray for our country today and pray for our leaders. And Lord, again, we ask you to bless this time together, give us the mindset to make the right decisions. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Jennifer, roll call, please.
District 1 Chairman John Block,
Present.
District 2 Commissioner Roger Ballard,
Present. District
District 3 Commissioner Gary Heberling,
Here.
District 4 Commissioner Bill Sarkella,
Here.
District 5 Commissioner Christine Lee,
Here,
District 6 Commissioner Evans Ehart,
Here.
District 7 Commissioner John Moody.
Here.
Thank you, Jennifer. If there are no corrections or deletions to today's agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Motion to approve.
I'll support it.
I have a motion from Commissioner Ballard, supported by Commissioner Lee, to adopt the agenda as presented today. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Agenda is adopted. If there are no corrections from our meeting minutes from January 20th, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve our January 20th, 2026.
Or
I have a motion from Commissioner Heberlin, supported by Commissioner Ehart, to approve our meeting minutes from January 20th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. You would have received your correspondence from Jody through email the other day. Today, we do have an introduction, and we have Dana Altum, the CEO of Region 7 Agency on Aging. Welcome. How are you today?
Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you, commissioners, for having me. I just need a few minutes of your time. First, I wanted to introduce myself. I have been in the position with Region 7 about 120 days and counting. And so why does it matter? Because the advocacy that we will do together with seniors and caregivers in your county is very important. And so I wanted to make sure I came out, introduced myself, and ran through just a couple of talking points. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop me. But I'll get started. First, just making sure that everyone is aware of what Region 7 does. So we are an area agency on aging, which is a designation from the federal government under the Older Americans Act. Most of our funding comes from state or federal funds. Occasionally there are grants local, but most of it is state and federal. Again, our partnership is so important, and I'm not sure what has come before me, but I know what I have in front of me, and that is something that's in front of all of us, a very rapidly aging population, which means we already are seeing more of what we're already seeing. It's taxing our caregiver workforce, our emergency services, our healthcare. And so my job, in part, for your county and the other 9 that Region 7 serves, is to advocate for more services to provide to our seniors and support for our caregivers. Some of the ways that we help your county are about $400,000 a year we pay out to your county. It is not our funds. We are just the pass-through, right? We're the keeper of those funds. But for several services, congregate meals, home delivered meals, case coordination and support, caregiver case management, transportation, chore and homemaking services, caregiver training, personal care and respite care, and senior center staffing. So that's one of the ways that we are here to help and continue to advocate for more funds to provide those, to help support. We don't pay for all of those services, right? Your millage dollars pay for the majority. We help supplement that. Additionally, though, I want to make sure that you know that we serve approximately 50 Sanilac County residents through the My Choice Waiver Program annually, and that equals over $500,000 a year that they're accessing in services. So there are more slots available in the My Choice Waiver as more people in need. We have to advocate for there to continue to be more in ratio to the growth of the population. And so again, it's part of what we are doing from our seat. Speaking of advocacy, I'll make sure you have this handout, but I did list the different ways, the different platforms that Region 7 advocates through. Those are both local, regional, and national. So you're aware, and if we can come together on any of those, that would be great. Another thing is, I'm aware you have a council on aging. So in no way is Region 7 a competitor to your council on aging. And I say that because sometimes I get that question, well, if you want to be the resource hub for aging services, meaning Region 7, what does that do for our Commissioner Council on Aging? We are an extension of them, not a competitor. We're here to support them, to funnel funds that come in from the state and federal government through us to them, to your county, to help them provide additional services. We have services that your council on aging or your county may not offer. So the ask today really is, if you have a need in your county that you're not seeing being met because maybe the funds aren't there, they've been exhausted, or they're just not available for that particular service, please call Region 7. The likelihood that we can help is great. We have to have people know to call though, right? So again, if it's something that your county provides and someone didn't know, all we do is route them back with a warm handoff to your county. So there's nothing lost. Just kidding. And then the other question or request is, if you have solid relationships with your state legislators, what you imagine you do, and you're hosting them for anything, so please invite me if you would. Warm handoffs, fast track conversations to move funding along. So I would appreciate that. I will be doing that work on my own as well, but anything that you can do to help your county, help us, help your county, in other words, would be greatly appreciated. And then I did include this last piece, and that is how important it is to make sure that your county seats on our board of directors and on our advisory council are always occupied. Now we have Mr. Walters on our advisory council for your county and Ms. Lee on our board of directors. So there's no concern there. But if something were to happen and they resign from those positions for whatever reason, or if their term is up and they don't want to be reappointed, it's so important that you make sure that you have your county represented. That's how our advocacy efforts stay relevant to your county. So just keeping that in mind for the future, the importance of having your representation on that board. And that is really all I have. Besides, I did look at the 65 plus population. It's a quarter of your population. I'm sure you all know that in Sanilac County, which is about 10% higher. I'm sorry, about 6% higher than the state of Michigan. So what does that mean? That means your emergency services, your healthcare services, your caregiver workforce is strained more than average to the county or to the state. So again, whatever we can do to help. If there are specific things that you want us to advocate for, please make sure that those are coming through Chris and Ms. Lee and Mr. Walters. They bring wonderful things to us, so there's no concern there. But if there's something specific that you're seeing that you need, please make sure that it gets to me so we can focus on. Any questions?
Thank you.
No, I don't see any questions.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Okay, that's going to conclude introductions. Next up is commissioner reports. We'll start with Commissioner Moody.
No report.
Evans?
Lexington Council is still looking to fill a vacancy on their board.
Okay, thank you, Evans. I have nothing to report today. Christine?
I was at Elk Township meeting and they had a state aid report from for their library. They do have a new scanner that they can scan books and which has been greatly received. And the yearly script for that is $800. The fire department had 10 medical calls, and they have 3 trainings set up for the month. Muhammad from Lisa McLean's office was there. Clerk report, she'll be working on a new budget and checking on another number of items. Old business, ARPA funds, the treasurer and clerk's office are gonna re-carpet it, repaint, and put 2 electrical outlets in there so the office would be working good. And they appointed a new deputy treasurer. And that's all I have to report.
Okay, thank you, Christine. Bill?
Carsonville had a fire truck repair, also went over some of their fee, and they're gonna be doing some fee increases. Paid their bills, they had to have their meeting rescheduled first time in, I think, second time in 20 years where they didn't have a quorum. So they were able to meet the following week and I was able to attend then as well. And Applegate last night, they had their fire report, their trucks all passed their inspections. Their street continues to be plowed and they still have a zoning vacancy, doing some website additions. And they're posting, they'll be posting for a treasurer position. And then one thing they've put together, which I thought I brought a copy, allowed me to have a copy along, is they've done a citizen engagement and ordinance review committee proposal. So they're going to be going through all their ordinances. And they've got a timeline here and just, it was a really cool thing that Aiden did. And Aiden, their village president's also going to be sitting on our board for, yeah. And so I thought this was a great idea because a lot of the townships that we serve don't necessarily have updated ordinances or places to park them. And as they update their websites, they're going to have everything be in one spot. So it'll be a lot neater for everybody in the community to access. That's all I have.
When is that gonna be posted?
Well, it'll be on their website probably in the next month or
Do
so.
you see that for ordinance?
No, this is just for the village of Applegate.
Okay.
Good.
No, I meant our planning committee.
Like the ordinance coming through the planning committee? Yeah, I haven't seen the agenda yet. But you're saying, Bill, that they're gonna be publishing all that stuff on a website?
Yeah, so it'll end up on the website and then eventually it'll all be there so residents can go and look in the one spot because things kind of get, as there's turnover on various councils, things get filed here, filed there.
I think that's a great idea. There's another asset to the community by these municipalities publishing their ordinances on websites. And that is, everybody who's familiar with the term boilerplate ordinance or whatever it may be. If you try to draft a zoning ordinance from scratch, you need an attorney and it's going to cost you a lot of money. And a lot of times ordinances can simply be copied and pasted. You can look at it, it's similar to what another community needs. And that's something I've seen local planning commissions utilize is, being able to grab ordinances off websites to utilize them as informational purposes to help themselves develop other ones. It saves the townships, legal fees and helps them. We have some, Argyle Township, they created their own master plan. Most municipalities are hiring somebody to come in for 20 or 30 grand to help. But some have to do it without, and that type of information out there makes a big help for them.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel.
Exactly. Yeah. So good report. Thank you, Bill. Gary?
Yes, tonight, the Watertown Township meeting, and tomorrow night is Moortown Township meeting. I was out of state last night, yesterday, so I was not able to attend Sandusky City Council, but I was told there was no pressing issues. And my next meeting for Custer is until April. That's the next meeting. Kind of my report.
Thank you, Gary. Roger?
Last night I attended the City of Marlette's meeting. I shared information here a week or two ago from Lisa McLean's office. I'm sure you all got it on the community project funding for fiscal year 27. They are looking into doing an upgrade on a water main that runs from oil up to the north end of town, which currently goes from 12 inches to 4 to 8 to 6 various, and then it dead ends. So they want to upgrade that to one size and put be a lot healthier for the water supply. So hopefully they get that approved. And they have also applied for funding to replace lead water supply lines in the city. Currently, there's over 600 homes that still have lead supply lines. So pretty good chance they'll get that funding. The Duff Drain project, is basically done. They're leaving that project open just till spring to make sure the ground restoration is complete and grass is growing and everything. It did come in 3% over budget. They're still going through the numbers. They don't expect to have much effect on the city budget. They approved a contract with Wade Trim, speaking of master plans, to do the city master plan. I believe it was $19,000, which seems reasonable by today's standards. So, and they're continuing to work cleaning up their marijuana grow and dispensary ordinance. And to have that complete ahead of the ballot proposal in August, which they want to be ready in case that fails. So they've got their ordinance all ready to go. And that was City of Marlette. Evergreen Township, I was out there on the 27th on a windy, cold, blustery night. They had a road report from Cody, the St. Lake County Road Commission foreman. Did an update on last year's work. They replaced 5 culverts in 2025 and made some recommendations for a couple that need to be done in 26. And the road commission will be replacing the Shabona Road Bridge over the Cass River east of Decker Road this summer at some point. And that will involve ditching and rebuilding a section of the road. And he also announced that MDOT will be replacing a bridge over the Cass River on M53 north of Robinson Road. That's I believe a mile south of Cass City Road. So that will start after July 4th and go through October. And the detour will be Argyle to Germania to Cass City roads back out to 53. I believe that's it.
Okay, thank you, Roger. Appreciate everyone's commissioner reports. Nathan, your administrator report, please.
Yes, thank you. First thing I wanted to mention, last week I got an invite to a healthcare seminar that was put on by Gallagher and Manquin Vance, to a large healthcare firm in the state of Michigan. Not a real optimistic outlook on healthcare. Costs are rising at a very large pace. They said the biggest issue, it's kind of multifaceted, a lot of chronic illness, more mental health, higher healthcare costs, and more people on costly prescriptions. So all those things coupled together makes it very hard to keep healthcare costs down, which doesn't leave municipalities in a very good position. So it's, yes, a little bit concerning. We'll be coming into renewals in July, but it just doesn't sound like things are very positive. They said most people who had January renewals saw double-digit increases, ranging from 12 to 16%. So, yeah, it just wasn't a real, you didn't leave with a lot of warm and fuzzies after sitting through the conference. And that's what they kept saying. They wish they had more good news to share, but just not a lot of positives on that front right now. So the one takeaway I did take that was positive is they talked about some strategies. And one of the things they talked about was if you can do any like in-home, or not in-home, but like if you hire your own doctor or nurse to get your own clinic on site, or they talked about direct care contracts. And that's what we have with McKenzie now, where reduced cost to employees. So we're utilizing one of the strategies they talked about, and it had a positive effect on our insurance renewal last year. So hopefully.
So it's good we've already implemented some strategies, but was there any strategies that came out of that meeting that we could continue, or new things we could potentially?
New things, not really a whole lot. We're doing some stuff with outsourcing scripts, so we get mail scripts at a cheaper rate. We've had a direct contract with McKenzie, short of getting into another direct contract with maybe another hospital in other parts of the county. That's something we've discussed too. So
okay, yeah,
we'll see where that goes. We had a soil erosion meeting last week. One of the big takeaways was the discussions of ways to improve enforcement when permits are not obtained or people don't follow up on them. I did have a brief discussion with Prosecutor Davidson on that, and he said, if some detailed reports were provided, then maybe he could be of some assistance. He just needs to make sure that there's some detailed reports of what strategies have been tried and what things have been done before it gets to him. So he's open to the discussions. In the MAC update last week, I don't know if everybody saw, but there is a House bill going through, House Bill 5317, which would allow for a reduction in the number of members on the Parks and Rec Commission. It did say that for counties under 100,000, which we would fall into, it would allow for the reduction of appointed positions to the board from 7 members to 4. The big push, I think, from the state rep who's behind this is he said the cost that's incurred by having that large of a board on a smaller county. If you could get this results with fewer members and accomplish what you need to, there could be a cost savings. So that we'll see where that goes. But MAC did have that in their weekly update last week. So, and that's all I have.
Any questions or anything? You're none, Nathan. Thank you for your report. We're going to move on. At this time, I'm going to call for public comments pertaining to the agenda. Are there any public comments pertaining to the agenda today? Seeing none, we are going to move on. And we're going to move into presentations. We have Stanley County Medical Control, Leah Lentz, the Executive Director. Welcome, Leah. We've heard a lot about what you're about to show us.
Okay, so everybody remembers overcap. We remember what last year I came to you about the life cast mannequins, and I told you I would bring one in. Well, Amy's with me. She is my education coordinator. She's been with us for 10 years.
Welcome, Amy.
Thank you. And she's going to help display them. So what these do is give the students, so for those of you that don't know what we do, so we do education in the field for EMR, which is your medical first responders up to paramedic. So paramedicine, you have to have a SIMS lab, and that means where you have to have things that is as realistic as can be when the students are performing like intubations, IV starts. Previously, they'd have to go over to MMR and CMU over there to do a SIMS lab. Now these actually fulfill that requirements for our students. So we brought them in so you guys can see them. Go ahead and pass them around.
All right, so this is our infant and very weighty, very lightweight.
Grab it by the feet. On that kid.
All of our mannequins
I told you.
anatomically correct.
Yeah, weight too.
Yep, and
Here.
very
Grandpa.
lifelike. So we can start IV
Yeah.
on our mannequins. We can put IOs in where you use the drill. It just kind of gives us the opportunity to teach in real life. And I will have to say,
Yeah, she is like.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
so we have another one, that's a girl that she mimics about a 13-year-old.
They just.
And then we have an adult male.
Pretty cool. Feel this.
Name is Carl. And then we have an adult female that they are.
I've already
Correct.
So if you went in there in the office over there at night, one was sitting in the chair and scare the hell out of you. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shelley Parks told us to put our children of the corn back in the closet.
That's something.
So
Almost like real life.
us to get these mannequins, we had to kind of mimic. So we would have to use an adult mannequin, say if we had a 12 or 13-year-old that we were trying to do a scenario on. That doesn't, in your mind, you just can't convert that this is actually a young child that I'm working on when the mannequin is an adult sized male. Again, just we can mimic a drowning with this little girl. She has the capability that we can induce like frothing at the mouth. So like if you're trying to clear an airway. And then our adults, as well as our children, when we're teaching ACLS, advanced cardiac life support, and PALS, pediatric advanced life support, with our scenario, we can grab the appropriate sized mannequin and our education is all based on muscle memory. So if we, and that's why I really had to fight for the one mannequin. So Evans he made us work for this grant or this gift, I'm going to say, because it absolutely is a gift to our area. It's a miscarriage mannequin and it's very lifelike. And I had fought really hard for that because I've been a paramedic for going on 15 years. And I had my very first preterm delivery at 16 weeks. The baby was still alive. And so I said, when we try to mimic a miscarriage, I go to the Huron's Finest and get a hunk of liver and some sausage casings and we do our magic. Well, it didn't prepare me for what I seen. So the miscarriage mannequin absolutely will do that. So we're very, very proud. They're like, I call them my mannequins. These are mine. And we've had probably 3 classes come through and our students are actually starting IVs and doing good, proper assessments because they feel so lifelike that we're able to, you can get into the situation and really make it real life. And that in general is going to benefit the community tenfold because you're just going to, in the heat of the moment, you've already done this, you've been exposed to it, and you know what you need to do. So we're very, very proud, and we cannot thank you guys enough for allowing us to make that very large purchase.
Yeah, that's millage dollars, but they basically did that for us.
Did you say how many scenarios you can run on the program? Did you say?
Endless, isn't it?
Endless.
Yeah, like it's.
Sim? Yeah, it's
Whatever we can think of. So
yeah.
lots of times, we have a textbook of simulations that we can go off of from PALS, ACLS, PHTLS, which is a pre-hospital trauma. But a lot of times we'll recreate situations that we've run in the field.
Personally.
And then kind of
go from there.
Because lots of times things in the books don't really match what we really are seeing out there. So if we can pass something along, we absolutely do that.
Yeah, so what's nice about it too is it's not just for EMS. We've had McKinsey's folks come over. We've had Aspire folks come over. They do their PALS and ACLS with us, which has got to be renewed every 2 years, and it's a requirement for them. So it's helped tremendously as far as having like sim labs right here. Invaluable.
Yeah, and I can't remember, you said like not a lot of facilities in the state of Michigan have
They
these.
don't, no,
Right.
not
We're one of the few.
They are unless they can get that cost down, because I think you guys remember the price tag on it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for that whole family, that was pretty pricey, plus the eye simulate, that was real pricey too, but you bring it all together and you've got like a real life scenario.
Are these covered by our insurance?
It's covered under our insurance, not yours.
So
Doesn't matter whose it is.
No, we have it under ours.
So we,
under agreement.
obviously we can
Question.
take these 2 off-site because we can handle them.
Not the big
The
ones.
other one,
Yeah.
they're never gonna leave site because
Way too heavy.
They are as big as a normal like male. He's probably 6'1", 180 pounds, and the female, she's probably about 5'7", 150, 160. So they're heavy. And you've seen how hard it was getting her out. That's what they're like. They're very
Real life.
real life. Like when you pick them up, like they're unresponsive. So they're just a jello. So yeah, but any questions for Amy or I?
Bring Carl over when Evans misses a meeting and we can put it here.
And if you, again, Bill still will volunteer for blood draws and needle pokes.
I'm sure you'll be first in line.
classes are every Wednesday.
Sorry, anyway.
As a person that has taught a number of first aid and CPR classes and whatever, it's just amazing when I first started teaching
Where they were,
and,
no comparison, Christine.
Were they
Yes.
written?
well, they were stuff. I mean, they weren't even,
Oral Annie.
some of them were just,
Remember Oral Annie?
and just,
It
it was not,
doesn't compare.
no.
No, that's one thing about the healthcare system. It's ever evolving. You have to evolve with it. You
Yeah.
have to. And the requirements change.
Yeah, and the older mannequins were extremely outdated.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
that, it's just,
What'd you do with the old ones?
We still have them.
They still have them. Yeah.
Halloween.
Huh? Halloween? We have them if you need to borrow.
We actually have more. One of them is stored down in the ambulance that we use for teaching as well.
For outside scenarios.
Yeah. I know, I can't remember what hospital, and I was walking down the hall and I glanced in the room and there was the bed for the baby and there was a pile of papers sat on top of the baby and I walked back and I was gonna go in there. And then I realized what it was and I just kept walking because that's how real
Right.
it looked.
It looked, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you again for having us.
Thanks for showing us.
It's nothing better than a show and tell, just to make it,
Yeah.
close that loop so you know what we've done.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. That's going to conclude presentations today. I see no need for appointments to standing committees, appointments to boards or county chair appointments. There are no general resolutions. So that's going to take us into committee reports, and we'll start with Commissioner Ballard today.
The only thing I have, well, I want to add one thing. Tomorrow I'm hosting our city manager from Marlette over here to meet our in-house elected officials. She's got some questions and nice to put a face with a name. So we're doing that tomorrow at 3. Nathan hit on the soil erosion report that was given. Joe did mention they issued 127 permits last year. And we had a lot of general discussion on some gravel pit zoning and whatnot. It seems like some of the townships have more questions than answers on that, so we'll keep working on that.
Sounds good.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Roger. Gary?
Yeah, tonight, we have our Parks and Board meeting tonight at Dawson Street, and we're gonna be talking about our website. There's gonna be some updates to that. I believe WMIC is gonna be there. We do some advertising with them. We're looking at filling the position, manager's position in Forester Park. And then after our meeting 2 weeks ago, I attended our MMPC meeting over in Carroll, and we're still working on the goals and plans for our submission to the state.
Sounds good. Thank you, Gary. Bill?
Transportation met, approved their budget. Also, they're going to be installing a credit card machine and on ISD contracts being negotiated as well. And we appointed Brett Lester and replacing Bob Wood, who passed on, but Brett's been a real good addition for us, and we're glad to have him on that board. And I'll just touch briefly on the animal control open house. We were all there for that. It was the day that everything was canceled because of the weather, but we still had a really good attendance, I thought, coming through the building. And Gary and Danielle and I then also prior to that did a radio spot on Eddie Furry's show. That went well. I did hear that it was the largest audience that he's had all year.
Really?
Yeah, to hear us on the radio. So I think that had something to do with the guests that he had that day, but
Had to be.
yeah, it was Danielle, though, wasn't it? That's all I have.
You brought cookies, don't forget that.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
me and Mr. Walmart.
Did you keep the stats on that radio program? Bill?
No.
Those your stats?
Public information.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Bill. Christine?
I got parks tonight with Gary. I have nothing more to add to that. I stopped by animal control today and I took my daughter did some major cleaning of closets and blankets and towels and sheets and whatever, and I dropped them off, and it was nice to see the animals in the cages. And Danielle is still walking on cloud 9. She's just so, I don't know when she's gonna come back down to earth to tell.
Maybe never.
Maybe not. It's just so different now. It's just amazing that. And she still has that excitement in her voice when she talks to you.
That's good. Is that all, Christine?
Oh, and I was gonna say, and if you got cleaning closets and whatever, don't take any old sheets, blankets, pillowcases, towels. Dogs don't care if it got stains on them. As long as it's clean, they'll take it. That's all I have to add.
Thank you, Christine. I had personnel this morning and we met to make an adjustment to some employee hours for one particular position, and the board will see a memorandum of understanding of that coming before them on February 17th. In our finance meeting. That's all I have. Evans?
At HTC after our last meeting, I'm gonna have another opening position for the private sector position for Sanilac County. We got Grace Temple. She was on the board for about 16 years volunteering. She is stepping away, so I'll be looking to fill that position probably within the next month. And also with the community collab, not a lot of people showed up to that meeting, so we didn't end up keeping minutes on it because there's only about 3 of us. So we just chatted for a little bit and went our separate ways.
Okay, thank you, Evans. John?
I have no report. I have emergency management tomorrow night.
Okay, well, good. Appreciate everyone's committee reports. I see no unfinished business, so that's gonna move us directly into new business today. And that's gonna start out with FA 010-26, approval of current claims.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the payment of current claims identified on the accounts payable report dated January 27th, 2026 for the general bank account in the amount of $107,763.07.
Support. I have a motion from Finance Chairman Sarkellis, supported by Vice Chairman Ballard. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 011-26, budget adoptions, amendments, appropriations, and transfers.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following amendments and establishes the following accounts as listed.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkellis, supported by Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 012-26, approval renewal of 911 millage language.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following 911 millage renewal ballot question language as reviewed by the prosecuting attorney and directs the county clerk to submit the language for placement on the August 4th, 2026 primary election ballot.
Support. I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkellis, supported by Commissioner Ehart. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 013-26, authorization to renew panic button software and Rave mobile safety for 911 central dispatch.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes a 1-year renewal of the panic button software with Ray Mobile Safety at a cost not to exceed $3,663.68 funded by the 9/11 millage fund.
Support. I have a motion by Commissioner Sarkellis, supported by Commissioner Moody. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 014-26, approval of remonumentation contracts.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following contracts in a total amount not to exceed $71,665 for the monumentation of 50 corners in 2026.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkellis, supported by Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 015-26, approval of grant writer contract for the Parks Commission.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the grant writer 5-year recreation plan writer contract between Sanilac County and John Frazier, effective January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2026, in an amount not to exceed $12,000 with payments of $6,000 paid June 1st and December 1st with funding from the Parks millage, and to further authorize the board chairman to sign the necessary contract.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkellis, support from Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 016-25, authorization to purchase equipment for the Parks Commission.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes and awards the bid to Tri-County Equipment Incorporated Sandusky for the purchase of the following equipment items: 2 John Deere Z930M Z-Track mowers at a total cost of $23,199.22, with trade-in of 2 John Deere Z95 915B mowers valued at $5,000 for a cost of $18,199.22. 1 John Deere 4066M compact utility tractor at a cost of $45,408.52, with a trade-in of a 2015 John Deere 4044M valued at $15,000 for a total cost of $30,408.52. And 1 2026 John Deere Gator TX at a cost of $10,764.96. The total cost of the purchases shall not exceed $59,272.70 with funding from the Parks millage.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkellis, supported by Commissioner Heberlein. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 017-26, authorization and award of bid for electrical issue for the Parks Commission.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes and awards a bid to Dave Maurer from Elite Electric for the repair of the electrical issues at Forester Park at a cost of $21,828.14 with a 20% contingency at a total cost not to exceed $26,193.76 with funding from the Parks millage for immediate approval.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, supported by Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion?
Yes, that's, we discussed in our finance meeting last month, this had to take place. If we wouldn't have, we were out 22 different sites for the summer, so.
Yeah, this is probably a long time coming upgrade.
Yes, it has, yeah.
Any further discussion related to FA 017-26? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on, FA 018-26, approval of 2026 data processing fees for equalization.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the 2026 data processing printing cost as presented.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, support from Commissioner Ehart. Is there any discussion on the issue? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 019-26, approval of 2026 agreement for database management and printing services for the townships and cities through equalization.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the 2026 agreements for database management printing services for the townships and cities and to further authorize the board chairman to sign the necessary documents.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Sarkella, supported by Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 020-26, approval of 2026 agreement for database management printing services.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the 2026 agreements for database management printing services for the villages and further authorize the board chairman to sign the necessary documents.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, supported by Commissioner Heberlein. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 021-26, authorization for the academy sponsorship for the sheriff's department.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes the sheriff's office to send one corrections deputy to the Oakland Community College Police Academy from January 27th, 2026 through May 29th, 2026 at a cost not to exceed $20,000. Reimbursement will be sought if available through MCOL's Public Safety Academy Assistance Grant Program. If grant funding is unavailable, the cost will be covered by the sheriff's office budget for immediate approval.
Support.
I have a motion from Finance Chairman Sarkella, supported by Commissioner Moody. Is there any discussion?
I believe he started last week.
Okay.
It'll be the second week now.
Any further discussion related to FA 021-26? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 022-26, approval of law enforcement services for the sheriff's office.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves a non-expiring agreement for contractual law enforcement services between the Township of Fremont and the Sanilac County Sheriff's Office and further authorizes the board chairman sign the necessary agreement.
Support.
I have was that you, Gary?
Yeah.
Give it to Gary.
I have a motion by Commissioner Sarkella, supported by Commissioner Heberlein. Is there any discussion?
Just a question to John and Evans. Do you know how many townships the sheriff department is covering now? Any idea? I know there's
There's a large number.
Quite a few. I think at least more than half, maybe even more.
I think,
just a question.
I'm pretty sure all three of my townships do.
Thank you.
Do you have any insight, Nathan? Just for
I was thinking it might be around that half number, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
It just seems like more and more they hear it from other townships that they're jumping in on the.
Right, because it is it's quite a service they provide to the municipality because a lot of this is related for law enforcement services or even blight enforcement, things of that nature.
Blight's a big one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a pretty hot topic in the planning world that you and I've been in for
Every township, right?
Yeah. Very good. Any further discussion related to FA 022-26? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 023-26, approval of law enforcement services, Sheriff's Office.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves a non-expiring agreement for contractual law enforcement services between the Township of Marlette and the Sanilac County Sheriff's Office and further authorizes the board chairman sign the necessary agreement.
Support. I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, supported by Commissioner Ballard. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We are on to FA 024-26, authorization to purchase inmate transport van for the sheriff's office.
San Luis County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes and awards the bid to purchase one 2025 Chevrolet Express 15-passenger van from GovMark Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in an amount not to exceed $59,994. Funding shall be provided from the Police Vehicle Fund with reimbursement from the U.S. Marshal Fund for immediate approval.
Support. I have a motion from Commissioner Sarcella, support from Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 25-26, approval of safe partnership millage language.
San Luis County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following safe partnership millage renewal ballot question language as reviewed by the prosecuting attorney and to direct the county clerk to submit the language for placement on August 4th, 2026 primary election ballot.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarcella, supported by Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Next up is FA 026-26, adoption of fee schedule for construction and land use.
San Luis County Board of Commissioners hereby adopts the solar permit fee schedule as presented for immediate approval.
Support.
We have a motion from Commissioner Sarcella, supported by Commissioner Heberlein. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 027-26, authorization for the management system for San Luis Transportation.
San Luis County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes the board chairman to submit an email authorizing the San Luis Transportation Director to enter, submit, and manage all applications and reporting information and to edit all information within the public transportation management system.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarcella, supported by Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Lastly, today we have FA 028-26, authorization to dispose of a vehicle. This is for Veterans Affairs.
San Luis County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes the Veterans Affairs Director to dispose of a 2019 Chevrolet Traverse VIN ending in 28812 with 191,969 miles at outright auction of Vassar, with all proceeds to be deposited in Veteran Affairs Millage Fund.
Support. I have a motion from Commissioner Sarcella, supported by Commissioner Ehart. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. That concludes new business. At this time, I'm going to call for general public comments. Are there, Mr. Walters?
Just an FYI to follow up on the Director of Region 7's report. San Luis County pays dues to Region 7 in the amount of $1,884 paid for by the Council on Aging's millage. For that $1,884, you get a huge return on the funds. So just for FYI.
That's a great point that you brought up, because that is how it works sometimes, is a small investment on our part brings back big returns. And those are the kinds of situations we'd like to find ourselves in. So thank you for pointing that out.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I also like to point out, I know Mr. Walters attends to different food sites and stuff, so he's always out there. He's also with every month seeing Mr. Alexander twisting his arm to try to get more money for our area.
Advocating for the seniors. That's what we do.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's a great addition to us.
Thank you.
Appreciate all you do. I'm still in denial. I'm not a senior yet.
You're getting the vote.
Tell me. Still ride my motorcycle. I quit doing that. Then I'll be a senior.
Okay.
Well, they got those 3-wheel ones now.
No, not doing it.
4-wheel ones.
No.
Any further public comment today? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on. I see no need for closed session or approval of closed session minutes. If there's nothing further to come before the Board of Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting at 1:48.
To adjourn.
Support. I have a motion and support to adjourn our meeting from Commissioner Eberlein, supported by Commissioner Ballard. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Yes.